Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here it is finally, the Chirimoya. For me the most typical, most amazing, and probably even the tastiest fruit in all of Spain. And Spain has a lot of tasty fruit. The Chirimoya, Annona cherimola, well, is in the family Annonaceae, which is mostly a tropical family with some subtropical and even some edible temperate species. The Chirimoya seems to be a subtropical one. The main areas of cultivation I've encountered are like southern Spain, Florida, southern California. It's a pity it seems virtually absent in the tropics. I haven't found it even in the mountains in the Caribbean or in Southeast Asia. Really a pity, because for me this is definitely the tastiest Annonaceae. Here in Tenerife it grows, and local chirimoyas are being sold on the market, but most of the chirimoyas you'll find here will be from the Costa Tropical or Costa del Sol in southern Spain. And I guess those are also from there. Well, the Chirimoya might be the tastiest Annonaceae and maybe the tastiest fruit of Spain, but choosing the right Chirimoya is an art. You know, with some fruit like bananas or apples, you cannot do much wrong. They usually taste more or less the same in the supermarket. With mandarins or watermelons, even if you do everything right, they still can taste quite inferior. But with Annonaceae, it's really an art to choose the right one. And now I want to show you how to choose the right Chirimoya. Well, first of all, with Chirimoyas, bigger is better. The bigger the Chirimoya, the better. Those are of medium size, but I'm quite convinced they are of top quality. However, the bigger they are, the better the taste is. Sometimes they sell Chirimoyas of walnut size for like €1 a kilo. You can buy those, they are not bad, but if you find Chirimoyas of a kilo or so and everything else is okay with this fruit, you should buy the biggest ones. Those here are like about 250-260 grams a piece. This is a little bit over half a pound. Okay, with Chirimoyas, they are picked green, of course, like most of the other fruit, and they ripen in the supermarket or at your home. It's better if they ripen in the supermarket, because it's quite risky to ripen them at home. I have usually failed doing this. I think even the transport from the supermarkets to my place was usually too much for them. So what Chirimoyas should you look for in the supermarket? They should be soft. However, not only the flesh, but also the skin should be soft. This is a very good example. The flesh is soft, but also the skin is soft and cool. On those little ridges and around those little ridges, the skin is already getting dry and hard. You can see this on the tiny wrinkles around those ridges. Let me see. This one also had a couple such spots. Yeah, here around the ridges. You can feel it. The skin is rough and hard, even between the ridges here. This is a bad sign. But since this was only on a small part of the skin of this Chirimoya, and also it was very soft, I was sure that it wouldn't matter. This one, look at it. Just very small wrinkled areas. There is a small wrinkled area here, here, and here where it was bruised. It's starting wrinkling a little bit here. And it's still pretty much pristine, green, cool and soft here. Those little bruised and wrinkly and hard and dry, and because they are dry, less cool areas, they are not a problem in those Chirimoyas because they are quite soft. This one must be eaten today, this one too. This one could have lasted till tomorrow, but not after a transport in my backpack. Well, also it's good when the central column, basically the peduncle, starts separating from the flesh. As you can see here, this has just started separating from the flesh. This is already pretty much separated from the flesh. Here there is a crack between the between the peduncle and the flesh of the chirimoya. Actually, each chirimoya is basically a whole inflorescence. This one was even more separated. You can see a tiny bit of mold on the place where the peduncle was attached. And also the flesh around this central column, around the peduncle, is kind of brown. This is a bad sign, but since it's very localized here, it's fine. You can cut out the little bit around here, or you can eat it. Basically, you will have no trouble with it. It's just a little bit of brown flesh. But if there is more brown flesh, and if the mold has already affected the flesh, this is not good. Okay, so let's repeat once more. With chirimoyas, the bigger the better. They should be soft, the flesh should be soft, but also the skin should be soft and cool to the touch. If the flesh is soft but the skin is already hard and warm because it's not transpiring anymore, then there is a good chance that this is a bad chirimoya. Okay, what about the taste? Well, the taste is really amazing. The taste is basically a mixture of, well, let me try this specific one. Yeah. No. The taste is basically a mixture of mango, pear, strawberry with hints of pineapple and banana. Also, it tastes a lot like yogurt. Amazing. This is perfectly ripe. It's a perfectly good chirimoya. I've eaten better ones. They were usually bigger. And usually I got them right on the plantations, where you have, basically, if you pick them from the ground in the plantations, you have the best chance to get the perfect chirimoya. Chirimoyas which ripened on the trees drop to the ground, and you find them immediately afterwards. Those are the seeds. The seeds are toxic. This is usually not a problem for you. Even if you bite on a seed or swallow a seed, they are so hard, nothing will happen to you. I was a little bit more concerned when they make smoothies. They basically cut up the whole chirimoya, throw it into a blender, and the seeds get chopped up. This could be risky. I drank such smoothies a couple times and even swallowed some of those pieces from the seeds without any visible harm to me, but this is considered quite harmful and dangerous. So maybe eat the chirimoyas out of hand and don't eat them from smoothies where they have been seeds put in a smoothie. Also, you can note that the flesh is basically of two different types. There is an aril around each seed. Those arils are a little bit fibrous. Still, I consider them the best part of the flesh. They have the best taste and also the best consistency. While the flesh under the skin, the couple millimeters under the skin, they are like an overripe pear. There are no fibers, but they are those little stone cells. They are this gritty consistency which is so typical of pears and guavas. Both are good. Maybe the best way to eat it is with a spoon. Scoop it out, but don't go the last millimeter towards the skin, because the last millimeter out under the skin is not so good. So basically, yeah, the arils around the seeds are very good. The 5-ish millimeters around beneath the skin are pretty good. Just the last millimeter beneath the skin is not so good. Oh yeah, those two can maybe wait a couple more hours, but I will definitely eat them today. Yeah, if you want perfect chirimoyas, I suggest to you, you go to the Costa Tropical or Costa del Sol in Spain in autumn or winter or early spring. I've seen them there from October, November till March. I guess November, December is the best time. Go there, buy a lot of cheap chirimoyas from the farms or on the markets. Eat tons of them, you are not gonna regret it. One of the tastiest fruit in the world. But if you get it somewhere in Germany or in some other country where it has been transported for too long and where people do not know how to handle it, it's not gonna be that good. Oh, one last thing. Buy it when it's in a box where every chirimoya is in its own little place. If there are a lot of chirimoyas thrown together in the box, they will be bruised and not so good. Buy it from a box where every chirimoya is in its own little nest. And if you follow all my advices on how to choose the right chirimoya, you will do nothing wrong. If the chirimoyas are not like I told you, like soft and with a soft and cool skin, basically don't buy it because you're gonna regret it. You're not gonna understand why this is supposed to be one of the tastiest fruit in the world. So folks, this was the chirimoya, one of the tastiest fruit in the world. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful island of Tenerife, where I'm right now. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.